Hello viewers, welcome to this academic episode, Level Alpha. I am your friend, the Puzzle Dog. In today's episode, we shall be talking about directed numbers. What do we mean by directed numbers? When we talk of directed numbers, we're talking about positive and negative numbers. Positive and negative numbers. A graph or a line which arranges these positive numbers and negative numbers in order of magnitude, that is how big they are. That kind of line or graph is called the number line, as we can see in the diagram below. Okay, when we number line, I will be numbering the number line so we can learn how to number this number line. 0 is at the middle of the number line. So all the numbers we have in this world, 0 is at the middle of them. And that is why 0 does not have any sign. It's neither positive nor negative. But on the right of that 0, all the numbers there will be positive. That is, we have positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, positive 5, positive 6, positive 7, positive 8, positive 9, positive 10, and so on. You can continue, positive 11, positive 12. In fact, it has no end. The number line has no end. You're just going to stop wherever you feel is necessary for what you are doing at that time. On the left side of the 0, you have negative numbers starting from negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, and that is not the end. It also continues forever. So having said that, I want you to pause this video at this level. Try number line. Try numbering it by yourself without looking at it. If you get it right, in the right direction, the numbers are in the right direction. Put your hands together for yourself. Alright, so we shall continue in the next section. Now, having learnt how to draw the number line and how to number the number line, we shall proceed to adding and subtracting directed numbers. Okay, we can do it in two ways when we want to add or subtract directed numbers. We can do it with number line. I'll call that method 1. And we can also do it without the number line. Consider the following examples that we wrote below. Okay, I call the method of using number line is what I call method 1. Consider the examples that we have below. Simplify the following. A, negative 3 plus 5. B, positive 3 minus, open bracket, positive 7. C, positive 8 plus negative 2. D, negative 3 minus negative 2. Now, I'll be using these four questions and all the methods that we shall be talking about. But let's start with the number line method and do that first one. Here I want to do minus 3 plus 5. That is negative 3 plus 5. When you want to use the number line to solve something like this, simply start with the minus 3 on the number line. Of course, this is the minus 3 here on the number line. So you write on that place, start. We write start. That is where we want to write start. So we'll start going now. But before I proceed, just quickly listen to the following. I will quickly say it, but you can repeat and listen to it once again. When you want to add a positive number, at the same time, it's the same thing as saying that you want to subtract a negative number. So when you want to add a positive number or you want to subtract a negative number, just move to the right on the number line. Move to the right on the number line. Also, if you are to add a negative number, it's also equivalent to saying you are subtracting a positive number. If you have to do any of this, you have to move to the left. You have to go to the left. So let's use that idea. Don't forget, we have started with -3, but we are adding a +5. That means I have to go to the right 5 times. Let's count. We'll be using arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The overall thing you have done there is like you have moved, and then you are going to stop wherever you get to. That is finish. You can write finish on that place. And which number does it fall on? It falls on +2. It falls on +2. Always write your conclusion. So for that question A now, for that first question A, our answer for -3 plus 5, since we are finishing on +2, our answer is +2. Sometimes when you don't put the plus there, it also simply means 2. So if you can just write 2 as your final answer, or +2. So we'll go to the next one, still using the number line. Now the next question, that is the B part. We are going to do +3 minus +7. Like we did before, we're going to start from +3. So on this +3, this is the +3 on the number line. Let's write start. Let's write start on that place. But because we are subtracting positive, we are going towards the left. How many times? 7 times. So we start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So overall, it's as good as if you've done this at once. So you stop at this point. Right, finish there. Alright, having done that, then you ask yourself, on which number did we end it? We ended it on -4. That means the result of what we've done here is -4. Alright, we take the third question, which is C. We are going to subtract. The question asked us to add a negative number. Adding a negative number still means that we are going to the left. But let's start from +8. Let's start from +8. So here, I choose to start from +8. That is, I write my start here. Then I'm going to the left 2 times. I go to the left 2 times. That is 1 and 2. Joining everything together is like you have done this. And then you're going to stop here. You're going to write finish. The number on which you are stopping is +6. And that gives the overall answer +6. We go to the last one, still using the number line method. We go to the last one using the number line method. This means that we are starting from -3. We are starting from -3. That's where we write start. This time around, we are subtracting negative number. It's as good as adding positive. When you are subtracting negative, it's the same as adding positive. So we are going towards the right 2 times. We are going towards the right hand 2 times. That is 1 and 2. Overall, you've done this. So the result ends here. We're going to write finish. and that number on which you are finishing is what? Is -1. So that will be the result of that part. So having considered these four questions, we have used the method of number line. We shall proceed to other methods that I told you before, because I said it before that there are other methods of solving questions like this, except when we are told that number line, we should use number line to solve it. We can simply solve it without number line. That's what we are going to consider. All right, here is method 2. This is what the Puzzle Master has called neutralization method. I called it neutralization because in this method, a positive can cancel a negative. They are going to neutralize each other. Okay, so when we have -5, -3 plus 5, -3 plus 5, may I say that something like this, many of us, especially that are coming into secondary school, maybe JS1, JSS2, like first year and second year in secondary school, some of us find it difficult to just get the answer. But if you don't mind, there is no problem with that. You're going to understand it perfectly well. All right. So when you have something like -3 plus 5, do this. Simply, -3 just means we have negative in 3 places. And +5 simply means we have positive in 5 places. Don't forget that I said earlier that a positive has the power to neutralize a negative. So this cancels this neutralizes this neutralizes this, and then overall I've got 2 positive numbers, and that 2 positive signs rather, and that gives us +2 as my final answer. All right, going to the second one. The second one, what we have to do is +3 and then negative minus +7. If you look at this, one may be scared that it's kept in brackets. We've got nest of brackets. Okay, it does not matter. Let me first say here that when we have 2 signs beside each other, like this negative is beside this positive, you're going to multiply them. We're going to multiply them, and this will open my will make me to mention this thing now that I've not mentioned before. Multiplication of this sign, that is negative times negative, positive times positive, negative times positive, and positive times negative. If you did not know this before, or rather you knew it, it's confusing. It will not be confusing again. When they are at the same sign, it will always be positive. Like now we have negative and negative. They are the same, right? The answer is going to be positive. This is positive multiplying positive. They are both the same, right? The answer is going to be a positive value. Now we have negative and positive multiplying each other. They are different. The answer is going to be a negative. Also, we have positive multiplying a negative. They are both different signs, and the answer is going to be a negative. If you know that, then from now you would not forget it anymore. Now, what we have here, you can even strip the brackets off to make it simpler for you. So you can simply write +3 minus is multiplying a positive, and the result is going to be a negative. And then, so this is simply what we are asked to do. So let's go with our method. We just simply write +3, positive, positive, then negative, 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 and one more negative, making 7. Having done that, don't forget a positive has a power to neutralize a negative. Positive has a power to neutralize a negative. One positive has a power to neutralize one negative. Now this, see what you have left. How many negative? You have 4 negative values, and that gives you that the result is -4. Is -4. Is -4. That's the result of that. We'll still continue. We'll continue by doing the third one. That is that question C. That question C will go +8 in bracket, okay, plus -2. Like I've told you before, if you are using this method, that bracket is just doing nothing. You can remove it. But just know that this positive multiplies the negative beside it, so it's going to turn to one sign, and that will be positive times negative. They are different signs, of course, so it's going to give negative. So the result, what we have here is just plus 8 minus 2. See what it seems, what it is that you're going to do. So using that method that we've called neutralization, positive 8 means positive. So let's count again now. Let's count again. We have positive 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative in two places, 1, 2. Now we start neutralizing. Let's neutralize the first one. One positive can neutralize the negative. Now see what is left. That's the net, that's the result. Okay, how many positive? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have positive 6. Then the last one now. Using that method, you see that is a very sweet method. We go -3, -3, minus 2. That's what we want to do. Let's do it this way. Don't forget that we have minus times minus, that's this minus, times this minus, that's positive. So what you're going to do is like -3 plus 2. Now let's start counting. Let's count. We have minus, 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 that means -3. And we also have positive 2, positive, positive. Now let's start neutralizing. Let's start neutralizing. That's the sweet part of it. Okay, a positive neutralizes a negative neutralizes a positive. Overall, I've got a negative. That means a -1. And that would be the result. So that is that about the method of neutralization. We proceed to other ways you can think about. There are other ways you can think about the solution, which I'm going to show. All right. In this third method, I want you to listen to this. Okay. When you are doing two things, when the two numbers you are going to do, when they have the same sign, just pick that sign and then add the magnitudes of the two numbers. Just add the numbers together. Okay, but when they have different signs, like you are doing -2 plus 3, they have different signs, right? Choose the sign of the bigger number. Just choose the sign of the bigger number and then subtract the two numbers, the magnitudes of the two numbers. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. That's another quick way you can do it without having to write all the signs down. For example, if you have -20 plus 30, you cannot be writing negative, 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 negative. So that method of neutralization might not really be helpful when you have a large number. So we need to just know what to do. So this first one now, using that same question, we got -3 plus 5. You look at it well, they have different signs. We have 3 has a negative, 5 has a positive sign, but note that 5, which is the bigger magnitude there, is the one that is positive. Both of them have different signs. So I'm going to pick the sign of the bigger magnitude there, and that is positive. So my answer is going to be a positive, since the bigger magnitude has positive. And so my answer will be a positive. After doing that, then subtract, just say 5 minus 3, and that is 2. So my answer is positive 2. The second one is what? Positive 3. Of course, I told you can simply write it as positive 3 minus positive 7, and that gives positive 3 minus 7. Positive 3 minus 7. The two of them have different signs, but in that case, choose the sign of the bigger number, that is minus. 7 has minus, so I'm going to write the minus down. Now I just say 7 minus 3, and that is 4. So my answer is going to be -4. You see how fast that method is, right? So fast. All right. I proceed to the third one. I'm removing the brackets positive 8, okay, plus times minus 2. So this is simply what we're asked to do. Both of them have different signs. Both have different signs. I'm still going to pick the sign of the bigger magnitude, and that is positive because 8 has a positive. Then after doing that, subtract, just say 8 minus 2, and that gives 6. And that's the result. The last one, D. That D is also minus 3. Removing the brackets, of course, minus 3. We got minus, open bracket, minus 2. That's minus times minus, and that's positive 2. Positive 2. So this is what we're asked to do. In this case also, both of them have different signs. The bigger magnitude is 3, of course, and the sign of that is negative. So I'm going to write down negative. Then subtract after doing that. Just say 3 minus 2, and that is 1. But I'd like to give more examples because in all these 4, I didn't see anyone that have the same sign. So let's say we have minus 2, minus 3. I want to do this. What it simply means is that both of them have the same sign. Just choose that same sign again. Of course, if you want to say the sign of the bigger magnitude is still minus, so write down the minus. And then, because they have the same sign, just add them together. So 2 plus 3, and that is 5. Also, if I have something like plus 7, then plus 2, plus 7 plus 2. Both of them have positive, so I'm going to write positive. Then, because they have the same sign, add them together. 7 plus 2, that is 9. So my answer is positive 9. So you can see now how easy it is to add or subtract directed numbers. You would do well if you can try more on your own. Okay, so in the next part, we're going to be talking about multiplication and division of directed numbers. Now that we've talked about addition and subtraction of directed numbers, let's go to multiplication and division. Come with me. Welcome. Earlier on we spoke about addition and subtraction of directed numbers. Now we are proceeding to multiplication of directed numbers. We shall be using number line method first with the following examples. Okay, so the first one is positive 2 multiplied by positive 3. We also have negative 3 multiplied by positive 3. Also positive 5 multiplied by negative 2. And finally, let's use this negative 2 multiplied by negative 5. We'll be using number line method to deal with them. Okay, firstly, let's consider the following number line. When we want to do something like this with directed numbers of multiplication using number line method, where we start from the 0. We start from 0. Okay, so when we start from 0, then so minus 2, for example, will then be like this. Let's say we have let me give an example. If we have something like, let me consider a small number line here. We have 0 here. So if I have something like minus 2, let's say I have minus 1 here, I have minus 2 here, minus 3, I have 1, I have 2 and 3, and so on. Just for instance, if you have to represent something like minus 2, so we're going to start from here and go here. That is representing minus 2. This one I've just done is minus 2. Okay, if you also have something like, say, positive 3, you start from 0 again and you go here. That is positive 3. And so that's how we're going to consider it now. So now we have the challenge. We have positive 2. We have positive 2. We have positive 2, positive 2, that's what we want to multiply by positive 3. When we see something like this, I want you to consider this first one as the multiplier, as the multiplier. Why do I call it the multiplier? Because it's the one that just tells how many times we have to do the process. So it's the multiplier. So the main number here is like positive 3. It means I'm going positive 3. So that means positive 3, of course, like I said before, positive 3 is like this. That's positive 3. But because the multiplier is a positive 2, that means I'm going to double that process. I've gone positive 3 the first time, so I'm going to go another positive 3 from where I stopped before. Then I'm going to have something like this. No, sorry, and we'll stop here. So this is a finishing line. So this was where we started. This is where we're ending. That gives us that the final result of positive. You can see where we ended here. That means our answer is positive 6. Our answer is positive 6. The next one. Let's consider the next one. For the next one, okay, I have here some number lines. Let me use each of them. So the first one, let's consider which of those 4 questions. The next one, let us consider something like minus 3 times plus 3, negative 3 times negative 3. So we have negative 3 multiplied by positive 3, rather, multiplied by positive 3. This is the question we want to do. Like I've said, we always start from the 0 mark, and then consider the negative 3 as the multiplier. So something happens when we have doing negative 3 multiplied by positive 3. We are going to take the main number here, that is the positive 3 is the main number, while this negative 3 here is our multiplier. It's the one that tells me how many times we are going to repeat the process. Of course, when you have positive 3, normally it goes this way, positive 3. That's how positive 3 should go. But because I'm multiplying by a negative multiplier, anytime we are multiplying by a negative multiplier, that tells us to go in the opposite direction. We go in the opposite direction. So, and that we are going to go 3 times because it's a negative 3. So what we're going to do now is, of course, instead of going the right like this, we are going to the left like this. How many times? 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. This is the end of it. And so the result is negative 9. The result is negative 9. Let's also consider the next one. The next one is positive 5. Positive 5 times negative 2 times negative 2. If we observe very well, you see that the multiplier is a positive multiplier while the number itself is negative 2. So I'm still using the same number line. Negative 2 just simply means like this. That's negative 2. We go to the left 2 times. But because the process, the multiplier tells us to repeat the process 5 times. Repeat the process 5 times. That's what the multiplier is telling us to do. So we're going to do, this is 1 already. We're going to 2 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is where we end it. That's negative 10. And so the result of positive 5 times negative 2 will give us negative 10. Will give us negative 10. Finally, we're going to do negative 2, negative 2 multiplied by negative 5, negative 5 multiplied by negative 5. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, the number itself is negative 5. Is negative 5. That normally means that we're going to start from 0 and go something like this. Of course, let's say we have minus 5 here. We'll have ended. That's the meaning of minus 5. But because we are multiplying by a negative multiplier, it tells me to reverse the process. So I'm going to go to the right now. I'm going to go to the right instead of the left. But I'm going to do that how many times? 2 times. I'm going to do that 2 times because it's a negative multiplier. It's a negative multiplier. So the first one goes this, and the second one goes this. We end up here, and our result of multiplying negative 2 and negative 5 gives us positive 10. Wow, that's a beautiful result. Negative number multiplied by negative number gave us the final result of a positive 10. Okay, that's beautiful. In the next, we can also do it with working, with just working, by working it out without using number line. And that's the next one that we're going to consider now. Now, what if we don't want to use the number line to solve these questions? Can we see ordinary way of solving it, which is even faster? Okay, I'm going to use the same set of questions, that is positive 2 being multiplied by positive 3. That's the first one. But by the way, before we go, let's remind ourselves, earlier on in one of our previous episodes, we've spoken about multiplication of signs. Okay, that is plus multiplied by plus gives us minus multiplied by plus gives us plus multiplied by minus gives, and minus multiplied by minus gives. Alright, what you just need to know is that two similar signs when multiplied together give a positive result, but two unlike signs, two different signs, when you multiply them together, you're definitely going to get a negative value. Okay, now this first one, positive multiplied by positive, you see here positive and positive, they are the same, so the answer is going to be a positive. Positive, negative, they are different, so the answer is going to be a negative. Here positive multiplied by negative, they are different, so the answer is going to be a negative. Okay, the last one, negative and negative, oh, they are the same, right? And the answer is going to give us a positive. Now you need to know something, that even division is still the same. The same applies to division. So when I say positive divided by positive, the answer is still positive. Negative divided by negative, the answer will give me positive. Negative divided by positive will be negative, and positive divided by negative gives us a negative. Alright, so if we are going to use that for this question that we have here, okay, what you're simply going to do is that you're multiplying positive 2 by positive 3. Positive multiply positive, so the answer is a positive. And 2 multiplied by 3, that's 6, so you've got positive 6. That seems very simple, right? Okay, very simple. We can also have another one like this. Or what if we have the next one is negative 3 times positive negative, let me use negative, positive 5 times negative 2, positive 5 negative 2 plus 5. Okay,
a positive 5 multiplying a negative 2. Now you need to observe that the sign of the two of them are different, positive and negative. That gives a negative, and 5 times 2, that is 10. So that's basically how we're going to do that. Let me give you one more. What if we have something a little bit complex, like okay, let me just say negative 5 multiplied by positive 2 multiplied by negative 1. Oh, this seems long, right? But very simple. Just take them bit by bit. Okay, take them bit by bit. You have negative multiplying positive, that gives us a negative. So when that negative now multiplies another negative, that gives us a positive. So the overall sign of the answer is positive. Then just multiply 5 by 2, that's 10, right? 5 multiplied by 2, that's 10. 10 times 1, that's 10. So we're going to have positive 10. Now, okay, going to division now, we have positive 24 divided negative 3. Positive 24 divided negative 3. You might want to write it like a fraction, like a positive, okay, positive 24 divided by negative 3. Why do you prefer to write it like a fraction? Because you want to be able to see the sign that is dividing which sign. So looking at the signs together now, you have positive is being divided by negative. The result of that will definitely be a negative. And then 24 dividing by 3. 24 is being divided by 3. You've got 8. So your answer is negative 8. Let's look at another one. Okay, we might have something like negative 4 divided by negative 12 by negative 12. When you have something like this, of course, like I said, you might want to write it like a fraction. It's not compulsory anyway, but we might prefer to write it like a fraction. So that's 1 over 4 negative 4 dividing is being divided by negative 12. Okay, like we've said before, this is a negative dividing negative. The result of that will be a positive. Okay, now you have 4 up there. 4 goes in 1 goes in 12, 3. So you have 1 over 3. So the answer is basically 1 over 3. Some of us, when you have a fraction like this, when we finish cutting, we still like to write only the denominator. The answer is not 3 but 1 over 3. Take note of that. Now finally, we might have a combination of division and multiplication. For example, look at this. Let's consider 30. Okay, divided by minus 5 times minus 4. Okay, what do we have there? You want to do the numerator. The numerator here is 30 divided by, now look at the denominator, minus times minus, that's plus. 4 times 5, 5 times 4, that is 20. 20. Don't forget that the numerator here is a positive. Okay, so of course you can even remove 10 divided, you can cut the zeros away. Positive divided by positive, positive here divided by positive is still another positive, so you got positive 3 over 2, or one whole number 1 over 2. That's basically the answer there. Let's consider one more before we bring it to an end. Minus 6 times minus 5 everything divided by minus 10. Okay, the numerator, considering the numerator, we have negative times negative, that is positive. 6 times 5, that is 30, divided by minus 10. Of course, like I said, you can easily remove the 0. Positive divided by negative, that gives us overall negative. Then 3 divided by 1, that's just so we have positive divided by negative, we have negative, then 3 divided by 1, 3. So the answer here is negative 3. So that's how we do it. Keep doing mathematics, keep solving questions. You can solve as many as possible to make you become an expert on it. Directed numbers, very, very simple. If you solve more questions, you're going to find it very, very interesting and very simple. Thank you.